So basically, before this webinar, we asked all of you, what are the questions that are coming up into your minds when considering relocating to the Netherlands? So we kind of made a great compilation of these. The first question that we have was from Pradeep. He's asking, this is my first step towards relocation. Where do I start? Maybe I'm expat. You guys can shed some light on that, on the question from Pradeep.
So as you said, it's like a big step, and there's a lot to think about. So I think it's very important to plan it super carefully, and like lists are your friend. I think the basic point where you need to start from is consider your nationality and your whether you need a visa or a resident permit. So unless you have EU citizenship, you will need some kind of paperwork to get to the Netherlands. Some countries have reciprocal arrangements, so you won't need a visa to actually travel to the Netherlands. You can find out on the internet through the IND website, which is the Dutch Immigration Authority, which countries these are. If you're not covered by a reciprocal arrangement, you will need a visa to travel to the Netherlands. There's a kind of short stay residence permit called an MVV, which is like a temporary residence permit that allows you to travel to the Netherlands and then apply for your residence permit once you arrive. In order to get a residence permit, you need to have a sponsor, is the way that the system generally works through the Netherlands. So this might be your employer if you're working at a university, if you're coming to the Netherlands to study, or it could also be a partner or a family member if you don't yet have a job. So they can, if you're applying through an employer, they can often submit your application on your behalf. Otherwise, you'll need to apply personally. And for instance, with a partner, they need to have the kind of means to support you. It's also worth mentioning that every non-EU citizen will also need a work permit to work in the Netherlands. This is something that if your employer will usually apply for on your behalf, but it's worth knowing about. To get one, you'll need something like an employment contract, and you also need to take out health insurance in the Netherlands. So it's always the same of either you don't need a visa to come to the Netherlands and you can apply for a residence permit once you arrive, or you do need a visa to come to the Netherlands, in which case you apply for an MVV, which is this short-term permit, and you can come to the Netherlands and then you complete your residence permit application in the Netherlands. Some other basic steps that you'll need to think about. Obviously, I mentioned a lot of it with work. If you want to work in visa, you'll need a job, so it can help to have a job offer already in place before coming. We'll talk about getting jobs with our recruitment specialist in a bit. It's worth thinking about your accommodation, where you're going to live. And one of the most important steps is getting a BSN, which is a citizen service number. This is what happens when you register with the municipality after arriving in the Netherlands. You need this number for loads of things, like getting health insurance, getting a bank account, and things like that. To register, you will need to bring some documentation to your local town hall. And sometimes, especially if you're coming from a non-EU country, you'll need to get your documents certified, where this kind of has like an official signature or stamp to say that it's like an official document. So this is something you should definitely look into before coming to the Netherlands, to make sure that you've got all your paperwork in order in that way. And as I said, it's kind of just, there's a lot of steps, and I'm aware that sounds quite complicated, so it's definitely worth putting the time in to kind of see how everything fits together. So getting a BSN depends on you having somewhere to live, and having somewhere to live probably depends on having a job, and so you need to like work backwards from the point where you want to be.